You're listening to Tipsy Bookers.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Jess.
Too
and
many
we're
books
tipsy.
on my TBR.
Yeah. This podcast is like a book club for the antisocial. We make a drink inspired by the book we read and talk crap about life and fictional characters. We really hope you listen and drink along.
Side effects of listening to this podcast may include reading vivaciously, extreme bouts of laughter, tipsiness from craft cocktails, talking shit about life and fictional characters. Listen at your own risk.
Just a warning, this podcast is explicit. We are all over 21 and there are spoilers. We warned ya. Oh boy. Hi.
Hello.
We're in Rebecca Yarros world. Actually, we're kind of out of it now because we finished,
And it's wild.
and I'm still in a state of shock. I'm just in shock.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's your drink for me? Because this is wild.
Okay, this, I feel like it just seemed like fantasy-esque. We'll call it like the Serum. That's what he drinks, right?
Yeah.
So
What?
you thirsty?
What?
It is apple cider and lemon and whiskey. I used a winter whiskey that's made by Bluebird Distilling in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, and it's my favorite thing. It's like a brown sugar whiskey. So good. And maple syrup, and then it's rimmed with cinnamon sugar. And it's the perfect combination of tart and sweet and deliciousness.
Cheers. I just love it.
Yay.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm also scared to put this glass down. It's a little unstable. Oh no.
Just chug it. It's fine.
There we go. Oh man, how you doing?
I just want to say that in the last 2 days, I have read the second half of these chapters 3 times.
That's amazing. I just finished last night.
I just finished for the 3rd time last night.
That's incredible. Good, because there are some things that I was like, what the fuck? Like,
I
what
feel
just
like
happened?
I still didn't pick up on things. And there was, I just kept listening. Like, I was reading, I read it, and then I also have the audiobook. So I was like, maybe I'll understand it better if I listen. So then I listened to part, and then I was listening while I was reading, and I was like, I'm still confused.
Yeah.
There's some things that I don't understand.
I don't understand, and I'm right there with you. Like, everything that happened at the end was so, like, rushed that
Yeah.
I was like, huh? I did read that multiple times, those last, like, 3 or 4 chapters.
Yeah.
Just trying to get, like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm so freaking confused.
Yeah, I'm confused, but I'm not, but I'm very confused.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does.
Yeah. I don't know. I am unwell, like you said.
Same. And I feel like even though I read it through multiple times, there's still so much that I'm not picking up on. And I can't wait to just see everybody's theories.
Oh my gosh, yes. Everyone's theories are starting to roll in, and there are some good ones. We'll talk about one of them in particular. And I actually think I forgot to write her name that came up with it. Dang it. I'll put it in the caption or whatever. I'll send it to you. Okay.
Sounds good.
Anyways. Yeah, I'm at a loss of where to even start. Is your favorite character still the same? Mine's Indarna now. It was Taryn, and now it's Indarna for sure.
Indarna. Mine's Zayden.
Oh, I know. I love it.
I have so many feelings.
Oh my gosh.
I am unwell. I think when I finished this, I just texted you, I am unwell.
Yeah. Unwell. Yeah. I was like, oh boy.
But we saw that coming. We saw it being unwell coming.
I did not see
this
I
coming.
did not see this coming.
No, but I fully expected to be unwell.
I expected Violet to be taken and like gone.
Yeah.
And that's what I was expecting. And so the fact that it wasn't that, I was like, okay, Rebecca, you got me. You got me. You got me good. Damn. But like, oh my gosh, all the little, like in the first book, the excerpts were important for sure. This book, it is so important.
Vital.
Oh my gosh. Even to the point where like at the end, we see that Lilith, so Violet's mom, was actively looking for a cure for the venom,
Yeah.
which I don't think I realized needed to be cured until this book. It's like,
I didn't necessarily know that,
Sorry.
which they don't know if it is curable. Up to this point, they
Right?
think it's not. But the fact that they are even trying is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give a quick synopsis of what's going on.
I don't know if I can. Basically, oh my god, I don't even. There's so much that happened in this
Without
book. Like,
spoilers, it's hard to like sum it up.
so what is it called? Not a rebellion, a resistance, right?
Yeah.
So revolution. That's what they call it.
Revolution.
Xaden is the head of it, basically, with Violet's brother. And Violet finds all this out. She ends up getting tortured, and Xaden is like, bitch, that's my girl. Gets her out. Dane is good. Okay, I'm still threw me for a loop. And then they go back to the world that we were introduced to at the very end of Fourth Wing, or the world, the country or whatever that they're living.
Homeland.
Yep. And they kind of start a revolution there with half of the school. Half the school came with them.
Amazing.
Which was my favorite part. Violet was like, no, we give them a choice.
Which, to her point,
I agree.
she's
I
like,
so
or
agree.
we're no better than them. Accurate. Fair enough.
So basically, they're trying to find how to win this revolution, right? And then they get a huge plot twist where the head of the bad guys, quote unquote,
The
is
dark
like,
wielders.
yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, sorry, the cranes. I know they can't hear this, but there's
No.
cranes outside the window, and it's so loud, it's distracting. But okay, so then the dark wielders and like the venom and all them or whatever, or someone is trying to fight the school.
Yeah.
And then they're asking the revolution to help them, and everyone's like, fuck that. But then Violet's like, no, that's literally our problem. We need to go help them. So then they go help them.
But they're actually smarter because the war ended up being at Biscayeth instead of
Yes.
the place they thought it was going to be. So they go and save the day.
They do. They solve the wordstone problem, which was sick. And then the ending was basically that battle, and we find out something about Xaden.
Yeah. So it was a wild ride. There was a lot.
I didn't even, that was the worst summary I could have ever done in my life. But I think I'm still confused because there's so many things going on.
Oh my gosh, there's
Something
so much.
about, what even was the lightning thing? What was that?
What lightning thing?
The thing that she had to go and like prove herself, and at Kat's house. What was that? What the fuck was that?
What is a luminary?
What is
Because
that?
that's what they needed.
What is it?
I don't know.
What is it for? I still don't
I
understand
don't
that.
know. What is a luminary? Someone help us. It's something pertinent to their revolution
Yeah.
somehow. Apparently it's no use at Count Olaf's house.
I promise we liked this book. We
Oh my
just have
gosh.
questions.
There's so many questions. So
Oh my god, but Kat and I, so at first I was like annoyed, but then I love that they ended up being like allies.
yeah, for sure.
Like to the point where she's like, I'm not leaving you for this, to deal with this venom. Like, are you joking? But I'm glad because I'm so sick of reading like the girl against like
Yeah.
each other, and I'm so sick of that. Like,
Right.
over a boy, like, get over yourself. But then, I mean, technically she was like she wants her crown.
Yeah,
Kat's like,
over a throne.
Kat's
Fair
like, that's
enough.
my throne, boo boo. And Violet's like, I don't even want this fucking throne.
I just want the boy.
I just want Xaden.
Ay,
Which don't we
ay.
all?
Yes. Okay, so I guess just dive into,
Yeah. Let's just dive right on in.
what do we call them? Scattered thoughts. When Mira showed up at the revolution and brought all these other riders in tow, and she freaking punched Brennan. Oh my god, it was amazing.
That's what I wanted
That's
from
what I
Violet.
wanted Violet to do. 100%. Violet was like, "Oh, brother," and then Mira's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, like, what?
You let us
You're
think you were
alive?
dead for 6 years. The least I'm gonna give you is a broken nose.
And she called him out of like their dad basically dying because
Yeah.
of that, which I don't know if that's, I don't know.
There's
don't
still
know.
something going on with the dad
Mhm.
situation that
Is very sketch. Very sketch. But, yeah, that was an incredible part of her just being like, and I'm glad that Violet was able to stop before they just killed them all. Xaden could have sent a little bit of a warning, like, or something, like,
I feel like, come on.
you know? I don't know.
Sometimes he's dumb.
Yeah. I think he's so used to keeping secrets that he, like, forgets that things are not always secrets.
Right? Oh my gosh. So,
Speaking of which, why the fuck are they still fighting? Like, though there's a quote that Violet is like, why are we still fighting about this after 5 months? And I was like, good question.
everybody's asking the same question.
Everyone wants to know this. Go to couples therapy. Like,
honestly.
I don't even know. And they had it out on the mat, which I loved that scene.
Yes, I did too. I think that it was that whole thing of, okay, I kind of get the parapet thing and so that the writers have more respect for the flyers, but that was so unnecessary. Making them all climb that freaking thing.
I was like, what is this? What does this have to do with
had to die?
anything?
It was so pointless.
It should have been taken out, and then like better things could have been put in. That was so weird.
Yeah. Which I guess the writers did have to climb it to get there? Was that the only way there?
Yeah, I need a visual of what all these people look like.
Yeah. But also, like, why make the dragon riders go with them? They already did the parapet. Like, they already hate each other. Can you wait for the bonding until after they get there? Because they're literally just going to throw each other off cliffs.
Yeah, and it's just spilling all over the place. Yeah, and it didn't even work. They still hated each other. And then Kat, oh my god. The fight between Kat and Violet.
Oh my god.
And Xaden being there the whole time.
And also being able to like hear what's going on because of their like him and Vi's bond, and he just like picks her up and she just like koala bears him.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
That was incredible. But I loved that it showed Kat was just totally messing with her head, and that is against the rules. You're not allowed to use your powers, and that get out of here.
And Xaden was not having it. Taryn and Darna fighting over what soft spot to hit Kat in. Taryn's like, go for the knees.
Yes.
And Darna's like, poke her eyeballs out.
Yes. Scratch them out. I love them. I love them so much.
Yeah. Incredible.
So much.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh. I am my notes. I'm gonna put this over here. I am actively spilling my drink over my notes, and I can no longer read half of them. That's fun. Okay. What do you have to say next? Because you have more notes than I do this time.
Oh, fair enough. I think the sex scene in the throne room, I think it was so important.
I literally was so embarrassed the whole time for Violet.
Yeah, but the whole thing was like over the throne, and he like the cat and her thing. And I think that was like so important to get her out of her head and be like, it's a fucking chair.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about Kat. Like,
true.
That you are my queen.
I think it wasn't even that. It was the act, the throwing the leadership out of the room.
Power move. I loved it.
Including her brother. That's what, and she even in the her like inside said, I'm embarrassed right now. I'm embarrassed for you, Violet. So it wasn't even the sex scene. It was just straight up them being like kicked out of the room. I was like, oh, I cannot do this. Close this book.
I thought it was incredible. 10 out of 10.
Oh my god, -3. I was so uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh. Also, Violet just has the best friends. Say the word and we'll bury a body. Like, they're so down.
I love it. I love them.
They're like, I still don't like Kat. We can still get rid of her.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that everyone's like, say the word, and she's gone. Like, Violet was even in that throne room scene when she's like, I almost killed her or whatever. And he was like, you could have.
Yeah. Even when...
What a response. Okay.
Do it. I don't care. Even when they were on the mat and he's like, I really don't care if you kill her. However, you're about to. So if you don't want to, like, you might want to snap out of it.
Yeah.
But if you want to, go for it. I got you. Like,
That's it. Yeah.
Amazing. So funny.
Oh, it's so funny.
So funny.
This book is literally a comedy. Like, I don't know what anyone says.
Oh my God, Sawyer's crush on Justinian. He's like, can you teach me sign language? And then the one point where he was like, what did he say? Like, he accidentally told her he liked her turtle or something random.
Oh, because was it Ritter who was teaching him before Violet, and he told him something else that wasn't supposed to.
Or he said he was going to do that.
Yeah, but
like,
I think he did too. Maybe. The turtle thing.
Maybe.
I think.
But then
Oh
Violet was like, he may have just told her.
Yes. Oh, it's so funny.
I love it.
But then, like, you can see at the very end, there was some sort of, like, Justinian was like, what? He's hurt? Sawyer?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's so sweet. I like them.
I think that it's really cool that Sloane is a siphon.
Oh, beyond cool.
And that's
scary.
Yeah. That's what Terrence's previous writer was, right?
Correct.
Because that's how he healed Brennan, by siphoning Brennan's power in order to heal him?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Which is crazy.
Wild.
Like, how does that work? Like,
Do
do you give the power back? Like, he healed him, and then he no longer has the healing power? Because he siphoned. He took the healing power?
I think by siphoning, it just means he can use whatever power.
Okay,
like,
because...
I don't think he takes it away from them.
Because... I mean,
with Lilith, but
she died
because she burnt out.
Okay. Oh my God, it's just so stressful. I just can't keep up with all of these deaths.
Right.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, Solus. Oh my gosh.
Scary. Very scary. That whole scene was crazy.
And the fact that
Darna trying to save the day.
She did save the day.
I know, but it was like an act. It was so scary.
Stressful.
It was so stressful.
Dang, she's amazing, but also poor baby.
Oh my gosh, and Darna, like, what a wild ride for her. What a story. Also, okay, can we just jump in and talk about her?
Yeah.
Like, she's a seventh kind of dragon.
Yeah, and camouflage?
Basically, I think she can just be whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Because she has the black scales, like
when she's
Terran. So... yeah, that's wild. I also love that Violet was like, this is not my secret to tell.
Yes.
Finally.
Also, how when Darna was trying to tell them, she's like, I'm the oldest of my den, because she's the only one of her den.
Oh.
Everyone just thought she was being an adolescent.
Yeah, and she wasn't. She was really telling everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy. But I'm really curious to see how that plays throughout the rest of the story. Especially introducing this now and not like prior.
Right.
Because we really didn't get her for like half the book.
Right.
And then we get her all at the end. So that is going to be interesting.
Yeah. She was a sleepy girl.
She was a little sleepy girl. She needed to be a little bit more sleepy in order to heal properly or whatever. I still don't really understand all of that, but.
What do you mean?
Like the sleeping to grow. I don't know. You know what it reminds me of? Okay. There was a show on Disney, and it was called, it was Demi Lovato's show that was like SNL for kids.
I don't remember.
Sunny with a Chance. So it was Sunny with a Chance, and they did a skit that was like, are your adolescents annoying you or whatever? And it's like put them in a cocoon and let them mature until adulthood. And it was so funny, and that's what this reminds me of just letting them sleep it off.
Fair enough.
I love it.
It's like a big hibernation.
It is. But wow, she's going to be like, that's going to be fascinating. Going to be so cool. Okay.
Yeah.
She's my favorite for sure.
Xaden's second signet.
I love it.
I absolutely love it.
I love it.
I feel like Violet overreacted.
100%.
Like,
so did Terrence.
Yeah. Like, of course he's not going to tell. He would literally have been killed.
Yeah.
And no offense, but your same thing, Violet, of always wanting to know everything.
It's going to be her actual downfall. Like, I understand. Okay, so she's a scribe. She has spent her entire life, not literally, but in her head, she was raised to be a scribe. She has spent her entire life having to research and get information, and she had it at the tips of her fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then she finds out all of that could be fake. All of that isn't real, which messes with your head. So then you have the person that you love the most in the world keeping secrets, and she's just putting those two together as if they're in the same box, and they're not.
Yeah.
And so she's got to separate that.
Yeah.
Cuz it's going to be the downfall. Like, you need to pull yourself together.
Right. Because one, Xaden has never lied to her. Two, the secrets he's kept have been for very good reason.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell anybody.
No, not even Tara knew.
Literally. Which is wild.
And I love, though, like a little bit later when she was so annoyed with Xaden, and Taryn was like, I'll torch him if you would like, but you do seem a little attached.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, Violet, get your shit together, because
And then she asked him to use the powers.
I know. And then she was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. I'm just using him as a weapon. Yeah, shut up. Literally. Also, I love that that's how he knew Dane's intentions of whether or not he could trust him. Because at first when I read that, I was like, there's no way that in just 2 seconds he was like, all right, Dane, come with us.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that was a little sketch.
Yeah, and I feel like he was always dropping hints too, because even when she was like, you can always get past my wall or whatever, and he's like, well, I'm harder than most, like, to whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
he was telling her. But I think we should take a little break before we dive into it anymore. So we'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you in part by Fern and Fable Books, a little bookshop in Ormond Beach, Florida. Keep an eye out for information on their new location, and be sure to follow them on social media at Fern and Fable Books. You can also buy their books online.
We're back, bitches.
So, talking more about the little excerpts, one of them talked about the importance of magic and everything in balance.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that that's going to have a huge play in, moving forward.
Especially because the venom that the sage, the general, that ended up doing whatever to Xaden to make him venom, which I still don't understand. I need a Xaden perspective, other than that one.
Yeah.
He mentioned that also.
Mm-hmm.
So that's twice.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Yeah. And then I think, was it during the scene with Jack or something? Somebody else. It's been mentioned
Jack.
multiple times. Freaking wild.
Oh my
Frickin'
God,
Jack
he's
Barlow.
venom.
Not him killing his own dragon.
Oh my gosh. That's another part I had to reread, because I was like, that's his dragon.
Yeah. And his whole seal.
So, oh my God. Varish was venom too. Because he mentioned the dark circles or something in their eyes. And he kept saying that he was more powerful than his dragon. It's just the exact same thing that Jack just said. Oh
my
God.
gosh. So that means he's probably still alive, because Solus is dead. But Varish is probably still alive somewhere.
What dagger did they use to stab him at the end? Do we know?
Solus or Varish?
Varish.
Oh. I don't know. I think it was just Dane's dagger or something. I don't think it was. So he could potentially, but they did check his pulse, but I don't really know how that works.
I don't know. Do they have a pulse?
Do they have a pulse?
I don't know, dude.
I feel like they probably don't have a pulse. Maybe they do. I don't know, because Xaden's not dead, but also Violet has mentioned several times how much Xaden's heartbeat calms her. So now I wonder if he won't have one.
I don't know. I don't understand what venom is. Do you?
Not exactly.
I don't.
Which we'll talk more about it when we get to that part, but not exactly. I have lots of questions. The whole spiel that Jack gave about humans being the greater race and being able to live without their dragons, and dragons convincing people that humans are inferior, and then he's like, die dragon, which what the fuck was the point of that?
What was the point of that? I don't know. Then how did the... I'm so confused. I don't know, but you were right. Dang, Jack came back and sat on his hack and...
Which I still don't understand. Like, why the fuck did they take him from underneath the mountain and just throw him back in school?
Well, I think it was Varish that did that. And if he's Venin, that was under Venin rules.
Yeah, I guess. But, like, nobody else was like, what the heck is going on? They just, like, made Nolan try to cure this man's soul.
Okay. Let's get into theories.
Okay.
I did find the user. Her name is Claudia Carlucci, I think. I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong. But she talked about the different theories of Venin and stuff. And so specifically on that excerpt of, I think it was Nolan to Serengel saying, like, there is no cure for Venin. I think they knew Jack was Venin. And so they took him to try and find a cure because, and this was her, based off of her theory, not me, I can't take credit, one of the Serengals was Venin. And that's why Violet has so many issues and why her hair is like half dead.
Which we had kind of talked about in the first book.
Yeah.
And also not my theory, but author Diana Elliott Graham's theory thinks it was the dad.
Yes.
Thinks he was Venin.
Yes. Yeah, so either of them. It could have been either of them.
Because she thinks the conversation between Nolan and Lilith was about the dad.
Yeah.
And that maybe that's why, like, maybe they just killed him and, like, to put him out of
no, that makes total sense.
his memory.
Yeah. Misery. Yeah. Crazy.
Or that he's...
So then I think that they were still trying to find a cure because what if Violet has it in her?
Right.
Whatever it is. I just don't understand.
Or she's, like, more susceptible to, like, turning. Or
yeah. So I don't know. And then, so I think that was very much planned in terms of, like, okay. Because even Violet was like, when did he turn? And, like, trying to go back to figure out when it was and whether it was after or before. And it was definitely before. And so,
which is wild.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. So, yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, I think that it totally ties into, like, all of them trying to just figure out a cure.
For sure.
Nolan was trying to mend a soul and it didn't work.
Right. And I'm trying to also figure out, so Jack was a first year. How the heck did the Dark Wielders get their hands on him to even turn him?
I don't know. We don't really know his story.
Right.
He's not really developed all that much. Which is fair.
I need to know more.
Me too. Me too. And we probably will, especially with him being like, welcome, brother, to Xaden. Xaden.
That was the most annoying ending, the last, like, paragraph.
I don't want... Why did he get the last word?
I didn't like it.
Also,
like, welcome to the Brotherhood.
That whole chapter, it could have been, like, 3. Because, like, we get a little bit of an insight of what happened. But then it cuts to him waking up.
Which is so confusing because there wasn't even a cut in paragraph. Like,
no, I did not like that.
No, I'm literally so confused. So,
yeah.
Like, it wasn't a separate thing. Was he, like, is this perspective of him the whole part of his fight? Mm-hmm. Was that all, was he reliving it in the dream? Like, is this all a dream?
I don't know.
Like, because when I first read it, I thought it was, like, that part really happened. And then, but then, like, after knowing he's Venin, Violet just, like, goes to bed with him.
Right? Because that's what I got from the chapter before, was she realized when he looked at her.
Yeah. But then they just, like, went night-night. and
I love you. Don't let the venom bite.
Because he just wakes up and, like, looks over and, oh, my Violet's sleeping.
So cute.
I'm going to go see my brother Jack. Venin Bros.
Venom Bros for life. Oh my god, I need a t-shirt that says that. Venom Bros for life.
No.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's so weird. It's like 2.5 pages.
Yeah. I'm not okay.
3.5. I don't even know. How many is it? Who cares? It's too short.
And then, so the part where Segal's yelling at him, she's like, no, I chose you.
Yes.
And then he's like, but Violet chose me too. And then he wakes up.
What does that mean? And also, If he had just held on a little bit longer.
It was so fucking pointless.
Just a little bit longer.
Literally, because Violet did not burn out for you. Her mom came in and saved the day. So, like, pointless.
I don't understand.
It's so stupid. It makes me so angry. It makes me angry. I hate it.
I don't like it either. I'm not a fan. And I mean, that's not true. I'm a big fan of the book. It was really good. It had me on my, edge of my seat. And I don't think it was better than Fourth Wing. And you and I kind of talked about this. Like, we do try and save all of our conversation for the podcast episode, but sometimes it's just like, it's really hard. So we talked about it felt so rushed. I would have been okay waiting another like 6 months if it meant that we got a little bit more of a thorough and reviewed book that made a little bit more sense.
Right.
It was so rushed, and it's not her fault at all. I think it's the publishing.
And just the pressure from all of the book community.
Yeah.
But, okay, so... I'm just trying to, like, compose my thoughts because I'm confused. So... The sage, the main guy, already had a hold on Xaden somehow.
Yes, how?
And Xaden knew it and was like, oh, he won't attack yet. He's waiting on me.
That was so weird. That was so abrupt and confusing. I don't know.
And some people were saying all of the dreams that Violet was having of the guy were actually Xaden's dreams that she was picking up on because of their connection.
Yes. And there was the whole point of she had a bad dream and Taryn like woke up or whatever with her bad dream and she was like, can you see my dreams? And he's like, I don't want to blah blah. I feel like that's so true. Like that point, I think that was proving the point of like, yes, they can see the dreams, each other's dreams.
Yeah.
Totally. There would be no other reason because that was so weirdly like placed, that whole conversation with Taryn. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. And he's like, I have better things to do than watch
human
your dreams.
Yeah.
But so if it was Xaden's dreams and somehow this sage has a connection to Xaden and is feeding him these dreams, that would make more sense. But also I'm really curious about, what do you think Violet's second signet is?
Does she have a second signet?
Yes.
I don't know. I think she would have known already.
No, because Andarna just now breathed fire.
Oh,
she's not fully grown yet.
True.
So I don't think it's mana. Well, Rebecca Yarros had said something. She said, if you read really closely, you'll know what it is. And
I don't even understand half this book. I'm not going to catch that.
The only thing, if the dream was hers, I'm wondering if it's something about like seeing the future.
That'd be sick.
Or like what future potentially could happen. Or something to do with like seeing the dead or resurrecting the dead, because what if she really was seeing Liam? Yeah, and there's been like several other things like about death, and we had even said with when Andarna could freeze time last book, we said it felt like it was something to do with like we thought maybe Liam would be brought back.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And then I was like, well, Liam's dragon is dead, but now we know maybe humans can live without dragons. But I don't know if that's only Venom. But like, so some people, including me, are thinking maybe something to do with like death or
that makes sense.
Something like that.
That
or
makes
maybe
sense.
If the dream really was her, maybe something about some type of, because they've put a lot of emphasis on how Xaden's powers and her powers like feed off of each other. So I'm wondering if hers is some type of intrinsic or something like having to do with the future, because he is an intrinsic of types, like with intentions. So those are like my thoughts as far as that goes.
That's great. That's wild. Yeah, I don't know what her second signet is, but those sound like solid choices. That's crazy.
Because then
I need the next book.
What if she kills Xaden to get rid of the venom in him and then brings him back?
Love it.
Human.
Clip it.
I think at this point they're definitely endgame.
Yeah,
and she's gonna spend her life or die trying to get this venom out of him.
The quotes this book though.
Oh my god.
My man Xaden was just everything. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, there were so many things that I was like, if someone said that to me, I would just be like, melt. Like,
The
okay.
whole he basically gave up Arisha to ward Bezgayev because he was like, "You are my home."
Rude of my cough. I'm so sorry.
So rude.
No, I so freaking agree. There was one that I thought I saved on here.
He also said they were endgame like multiple times in different wording.
Yeah.
So I believe him.
Oh, and him comparing his. So Zayden compared his second signet to Dane's, of being like, I did what Dane did. And I was. I mean, to an extent, but like, buddy, you did not go and tell someone to almost kill an entire,
Right.
like,
And he also, as soon as he realized like what was going on between the two of them, he stopped doing that to her.
mm-hmm.
Whereas Dane didn't and like took advantage.
Yeah, there's such a difference. Yeah. The one that I really love that he said, like a quote, is, I love you, the world does not exist for me beyond you. Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, so just diving into the very end for a minute.
Okay.
So as soon as the wards went up, all of the wyvern died. And the venom become almost powerless. So that's how Jack and now Zayden can live under the wards without, like, obviously Jack still had some power, but he wasn't the way that he was when they were like battling venom, right?
Right.
So it says they're almost powerless. And when they were saying Melgren wants them to come back to school, Zayden was like, okay, then we come back. And was basically saying this is the safest place for us to be. And is basically saying, like, I'm still staying by your side, but it's good that, like, I'll be pretty much powerless because we'll be in the wards. So, like, my question about Venom is, like, because he didn't just, like, turn to her and, like, try to eat her, right?
He's not a vampire.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, how did, like, he was like, you need to be scared of me. But at the same time, he's like, you love me. I'm staying by your side. So, like, he's still him.
Totally.
But, like,
I don't understand. I don't know.
I don't.
And also, like, the whole, like, drawing the power from the, like, the earth or whatever. Like, what?
I think it has to do with runes because Biscayeth is built on runes.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I do agree. Like, that is going to be their safest place so that he can stay maybe himself more than Venom. And maybe, like, once he leaves the wards, he becomes more Venom than himself.
Maybe. And, like, is it, like, a gradual process? Do you slowly become more, like, lose yourself to the venom?
And were they all, like, human and then turned venom?
And is it a choice? That's my thing.
Is it a choice?
I think you have to give it over because the sage was like, come on, like, give in.
Yeah.
Like, I think you have to, like, welcome the venom into
What the
you.
fuck? Like, I don't understand this at all.
I am so confused.
Can someone give us clarification? Like, if you understood this, and I feel like I'm missing something, like, let us know.
And one of the excerpts was about, like, the ranking of dark wielders.
Okay.
With, like, Venom being, like, the bottom of the totem pole.
Right.
And then there's, like, the sages and stuff. So there's, like, ranks. So, like, is it as you
that's
become
why he was like,
more
I'm a general.
Venom?
Yeah.
And I'm very confused as to, like, what that means. And, like, how do you rise through the ranks?
I don't know.
Of being a dark wielder? And, like,
I guess, do they really know?
No, I don't think so.
So maybe that's why we don't.
Yeah, probably. But
I'm so confused. I feel like Violet. Give me all the information.
Right. Because
you're keeping secrets from me, Rebecca Yarros, and we're going to have it out for 5 months.
Not a fan. But obviously Zayden is still Zayden because the one thing he does is go and ask Jack, like, how to cure it.
Yeah. Oh.
So he's still in there. It not spoilers for another book, but it reminds me of another series of something dark living inside of someone else, and then, like, that person's still inside.
I wonder what series that
is. So it's like there's still hope.
There are a lot of parallels of that series.
Yeah. That series and Red Queen.
Mm-hmm. I have to reread that.
And Diana Elliott Graham was saying also from Blood and Ash. Have you read that?
No.
Okay. I haven't
No?
either.
I don't.
I think it was from
what
Blood
is
and
that
Ash.
one?
It's like the black and red with like, I think that's the one. Let me.
Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, I think I like requested that from the library like a year ago.
I think it was that one.
Okay. Yeah, I have not read that one. Interesting.
Yeah, so
there's hope, I
there
think.
is.
I think there's hope. And I think that
If anyone can do it, Violet can.
Violet can do it. 100%.
She's brilliant.
She's so freaking smart. Like, half the time I felt like I was playing catch up with her. Like, what? What did you just find out about Zayden? Like, oh my gosh. I just have to talk about his reaction to when she asked what his second signet was. And they just, like,
Blanched.
I can't even imagine, like, the one thing that you were promised to keep to yourself. You never told anyone. You never even, like, gave, well, you kind of gave hints to Violet. But, and then she just straight up asked that. He's like, ask me anything. Ask me anything. Okay. Oh, don't ask me that.
Yeah, and she's like, how'd you get away with bonding Sigale? Because they thought it was like a more distant relative than it was, but it was not, which is wild. And apparently, if you bond a direct relative, you either go mad or get a crazy second signet.
There's so much. I need like a list of rules.
So I need to know now what happens with the bond between all of them and Zayden and Sigale now that he's Venom.
Yeah, I'm curious too, but I will say like, because he even said that Sigale has been strangely quiet since the battle.
Right.
So was that by choice because she's upset at him, or
is he cut off?
Is he cut off? Oh my god. This cannot end like this.
I'm not okay.
I'm not okay either.
Also, Zayden knows so much about so much. Like all of his
He does. He totally does.
Like all of his knowledge about the runes and how he literally gave her a dagger with a specific rune to ward against Kat's mind abilities.
Yeah.
Wild. Talk about thinking ahead.
Right? He's brilliant. They're a match made in whatever what is it? Malik's realm.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were also saying that I could definitely see is she talks about the gods a lot more in this book, comparatively speaking.
Oh, yeah, I think so too.
So I think that's going to have a play in things. Because even when she's like, thank Dune, and she's like, Malik
oh, yeah,
can't
she
have
says that
you.
so many times.
Yeah, and like just a lot of reference to like gods, and even saying, sorry, it's okay. Even saying, Malik, you can't have Zayden. Even before she
she's so much power. See,
yeah.
Back to your death thing.
What if she's a demigod?
Oh my god.
What if her dad's not Venom? He's a god, or her grandpa or something.
I don't know. What the fuck?
Because Andarna waited 650 years to hatch just because she knew that this person that was supposed to be the head of a scribe was actually going to be a writer.
Yeah.
And the whole research between the dad and the Feathertails thing is still going to come back up.
She was so quiet during that part. Yeah. You're so right. So what if dad's not actually dead?
I don't know. I just have questions.
Me too. Oh my god. Are you done talking?
I think so.
I feel like I'm not, but I don't have any more notes.
I'll never be, so.
I need to read this about 3 more times to catch up with your where you're at.
Wild.
It's so crazy. There's so much going on. I absolutely love that theory about dad now. Like, I didn't even do what kept me home and what kept me up, but I mean, this literally actually kept me up. Like, when we stopped at part 2, I dreamt about what happened next and then was mad I couldn't start part 2 prior. Anyways. Yeah, so I would say this kept me up. Nothing kept me home. I was gone. Dang, I should have thought this through.
That's okay.
Okay.
I didn't really either. This kept me up and kept me home. And what's going to be keeping me home is reading Bonded by Thorns
Oh,
by
yeah.
Elizabeth Helen.
I started it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm 7% in.
Okay. You want to talk about that?
The book or just what we're
Just
doing?
what we're doing.
Okay, I was like, I'm 7% in.
7%, I got nothing.
I got a little bit. So, we, excuse me, we are doing a really cool, another little author interview with Elizabeth Helen. And we're doing this actually with the Fabled Fantasy Events people. So that episode will go live on November 22nd, which is a little different because it's a Tuesday. So it's not going to be a normal like Friday. We'll have a normal Friday episode, but this is just like a little bonus. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be fun. They wrote Bonded by the Thorns.
Yeah.
And it's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So join with us in reading it, and we'll have some fun chatting with them.
Yeah.
At a cute little coffee shop.
Yeah. Also, tickets go on sale today for the Fabled Fantasy Romantasy Book Con and Midnight Masquerade, which will be next year, October 3rd through 5th of 2024. But tickets are on sale today, so be sure to get those. It's going to be amazing.
We'll post it on our story too, our Instagram story. We're gonna be there.
Yeah,
we're gonna have so much fun. We have some special things in the work with the Fabled Fantasy Events ladies, and so stay tuned. But definitely get those tickets. We cannot wait. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, what's our next book?
What is our next book?
What's our next book?
Oh my gosh.
I've been so caught up with Iron Flame, I didn't even like pay attention. Okay. Oh. I don't think we have one.
We should probably pick a book.
Okay, well, we don't have a book yet. We pre-planned these out, but apparently we did not plan this one out.
We skipped right over the next 2 weeks, and we go to
our December. Yeah. So be prepared for that. Okay, we're a fucking disaster. Be prepared for Lightning Thief. We're just reading Lightning Thief, December 8th.
Right before the show.
Yes, so that we're prepared for the TV show. Yay! We're so excited. But we'll keep you updated. I don't even know, what should we read?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Should we ask the audience? I feel like I'm scarred. But we got when we were out of that, so that was good.
That's true. Well, we can't promise we'll take what you say, but feel free to give us recommendations.
There's been a few people who've DM'd us. I'll go through them and figure out what some recommendations were.
Cool.
So. Yes. Okay.
Anyways, follow us at Tipsy Book Reads and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Please like and review. Give us 5 stars. Please. It does help us so that more people can hear our crazy shenanigans and book theories that we take from other people, but at least we give credit for.
Yeah.
And so stay tipsy. We love you. Goodbye.